going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Seductive Rhino, back at it again with another edition of Mastering the Molly, and today we are going to be doing Earl. Now, thankfully, this boomer ass hasn't forgotten so many of these lineups because guess what? Riot, again, didn't change anything part of the map. And I know what you're thinking, Rhino, where have you been? Shut up. I've been gone, I've been living life, all right? Life's good. But I'm here today in order to help you get some molly so that you can climb the competitive ladder with relative ease. Now, with that being said, guys, if you really enjoyed the video, hopefully you guys drop a sub, hit that like button for your boy Seductive Rhino, and let's get started with the video. All right, so getting started off with the A bomb site. One of the cool things is that for majority of this, a lot of you guys are either going to be planning within this like little vicinity right here. So good news is I got a few molly lineup locations. We got another one over here. So with this being said, A site is kind of a pretty easy as far as a Brimstone here. Really, a lot of people like to plan over in this corner just because it provides the most amount of cover. It gives you the best one-on-one coverage and anything like that. However, it doesn't give you the opportunity in order to kind of play the flank. But if you guys have a spam coordinated team, these lineups are going to be great for you. So, bomb goes down in default. Let's get started with number one. So all you're going to do is you're just going to come back to this main part. You're going to lodge yourself into this corner. This guy right here is going to be your main point of contact. Because they have changed the HUD icon from what used to be the crosshair now over to the arrow, all you're going to do is kind of just line your arrow up just slightly in the middle. Turn around here. Bang. Fire. So this is pretty much going to be your most simple, basic lineup, and that is going to land right over here. If you want, and you want to play plant a little bit in front of the site, so you can get some people who are going to be lurking through library. That is also an opportunity as well. So just in case if you don't want to do it right here, people are going to get a little bit, suspicious of where your lineup locations are, so we're going to give you a little bit of flexibility. If you want to be able to do it a little bit farther back, what you can do is you can go into this corner, and right over here is kind of going to be your target. And then typically what I do is, instead of putting your flame HUD right over here, right where this kind of arch is, go ahead and line that up, and it's going to be relatively quick. One of the other lineups that you can do now, again, guys, I keep reiterating this all the time, but you need to be able to have a couple of different lineup locations to where you can be a little bit flexible. So being able to go into that corner, wrapping around, or just being able to play with your team, it's all dependent on where you plant and kind of where the timing is. So one of the other ones that you can do is if it's sitting up there, or you can do it like kind of in that default cubby again. If you are a person who likes to be on the flank, so to speak, what you can do is you can line yourself up in this corner right over here. And then here is what you want to do. This is for high graphics settings, by the way. The top of your smoke indicator is going to be right under that window. You're going to kind of wedge it in there, and that guy is going to completely fucking miss. Top right part of this window, just for the record, guys, I'm using high graphics settings on this one. You're going to take the top of your smoke icon, and you're going to place it up into that corner, and you're going to fire, and that should bounce on top of here. Do a couple more bounces. Bam, right into the molly location. And if you really want to get a little fancy here, guys, all right, the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get into this corner right here, and you're going to take the corner, like right where your sim beacon is, that little line right here, and you're going to line it up right here, and right up at the top, right where this like little corner meets. Molly. Right. That is just going to do a double bounce, and it's going to go all the way through. And this actually gives you a little bit more flexibility with this, because it can land on top and it can land over here on the default side. So if you have the spike and you want to plant it like right over here, just so you can lurk that way, by all means. The next molly that I want to teach you guys is actually going to be for this corner. And you know what? We're going to start it off. We're going to start it off a little spicy here, because you guys, we all know that we need some CT sided lineups, right? Of course. So just want to give you guys a heads up that I only have one lineup for this. I know that there are plenty more. If you want, please go take a look at like Brim Sensei or Perry or Calvin or Zeal or any one of those guys. I'm sure that they have a bunch of lineups. The reason why that I only have one lineup for that location is because when you're typically taking a main, it is very easy for you, especially if you have smokes, to get spammed from up top. Over here, you are out in the wide open and not really secure. So I usually like to use this very situationally. Typically when people are on the flank, or if you know that they're going to be going through library or through connector or anything like that. But this is kind of what I do. So I have a lineup that comes over here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to lead yourself into the waterfall location using this as kind of your indicator. And all you're going to do is line the little curvy part of your HUD. You're going to line it up in there and shoot. And it's going to do a 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and then it'll land over there. And the cool thing about that molly, in my opinion, is that you can kind of go a couple of different ways. So if you know kind of the timing on this, you can actually walk it out just because. Friendly reminder, 7.5 seconds, guys. It gives you enough flexibility in order to go through here. So if you're in a 1v1, you can have some good spam if you really want to. If you want to play it that way, you can go through flower. Or my personal favorite is I like to be able to use that because a lot of people don't know where that's coming from and they think that's usually coming from main. So you can actually wrap through waterfall and just go through here. And again, because in the wide open, you can play this and have really, really, really good cover. The last molly that I want to be able to show you is kind of a CT sided molly again. This right here is very, 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 very strong, very powerful molly that I have right here. So this is such a super open plant that defenders have to worry about here. They had to worry about here. So there's 4 different locations. So what you want to be able to do for this molly is you want to get into this corner right here. And then all you want to do, and this is really kind of hard to see, but you guys don't know what I mean when I'm kind of here. So there's like these 2 faint small little dots, right? Basically, all you want to do is you take the very, very top part, or the very, very side part of the left side of your HUD, and you line it up with this little dot. And I know it's super hard to see, but if you can get it, you're going to fire it. It's going to bounce off, bounce a couple other times, and cover the bomb. So that is also a really powerful one. And I got a couple of defensive mollies for you guys as well. So moving off from the A site, what you're going to want to do, if you ever hear that they're rushing B, typically you have a couple of default plant locations, so you can either go from here to here. This one's going to be from the connector side if you are on rotation. Typically, I like to play on the A site, usually playing through connector or art, just so I can have like quick and easy smokes over on the B site. If you know that they're going to be planning somewhere in the short, because a lot of people like to plant in that corner, what you're going to do is put yourself into this corner. And then from here, all you're going to do is you're going to put the curve of your HUD right where this like little L shape is, like little reverse L. You're going to land it up over there. And what that's going to do, it is going to deny this plant right over here. So then they cannot hide behind this corner. They actually have to make themselves out in the open, or they're going to have to back up. So it gives you a little bit of denial, as well as gives you a little bit more time to rotate as well. I also know that if you play Viper, a lot of Vipers will usually throw their pit over there. And the last defensive molly is just because I like to play connector, like I had mentioned before. Usually what I like to do is I like to wedge myself up into this corner. The next thing that you're going to want to pay attention to is kind of these. And you're going to have to do a little bit of visualization over here. So basically right where your molly HUD kind of curves up, you're going to want to follow that line. And then right where this gray bar is, molly, follow that, fire. And what that's going to do, it's going to bounce once, bounce twice, and it's going to be able to get in front as well as over in the corner, because a lot of people like to plant inside where this is, and it actually will get them too. So those are your defensive mollies. You could also use them for the A and B site, but I got a few mollies for B site as well. So let's go on over to the B site. So for this, B site is relatively open. However, there's pretty much only a handful of spots that people like to play or plant. It's usually here, somewhere in here, or right along this line. So I will give you a couple of molly locations for this. Spike drop. What you're going to want to do. And that is your typical default location. So a couple of different mollies that you can throw that I personally enjoy. So you can do this one of 2 ways. One of them is, what you're going to want to do is you're going to take the tip of your molly and you're going to put it up into this. If you have high graphic settings, you're going to be able to see kind of this grass or moss or whatever the hell this thing is. And it's going to be the one immediately over to the left. And then just take the tip of your flame. You're going to be able to fire it. And then what that's going to do is that's going to land right in the pocket. And that's a relatively quick one as well. So that's really cool. Another one that you can do I've had sages throw walls in order to be able to do that as well, to try to block that off. And sometimes with that, it denies the ability of a bounce. However, the other one that you can do is right over here is you're going to take the tip of right where the dot on your HUD is, and you're going to place it right on top. Molly! And using that as your indicator, what that's going to do is it's going to bounce off and do a quick bounce as well. So those are pretty much your ones from long. The other thing that a lot of people like to do, if you have a sage, or if you like to get quick plants down, obviously you're going to have your smokes. Usually what I like to do is I can do one here, here, and here. Holy smokes! But if you want to give them like a little bit more cushion and still deny a lot of the visibility, you can have one right here. That's fine as well. I typically don't recommend that smoke though, just because that gives them a lot of flexibility to kind of go back and get for cover, and they won't be able to see them. The other thing that you can do, just because, like I had mentioned before, a lot of people like to plant right over here. So I only have one molly for this, but this molly is really, really strong. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get basically into the middle of this, and then using this guy right here as kind of your indicator. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, like for me, for example, and you can have this set to a bunch of different other binds. The Q, what you're going to want to do is kind of just follow this all the way up from where these like little grooves are, and then just follow it all the way up, and then just put it at the top of this little like beam thing or whatever. And that's going to give you enough height where it gives you quite a bit of distance in order to be able to do this. And yeah, so that's going to be for like more of a shorter plant, but it gives you all of the cover. They're not going to be able to hit you from headshot level, just because this does give you enough space, and Brimstone's not that tall. Now guys, as always, I think you should be very, very flexible in kind of the plant positions that you're going to be able to play. My personal like trying to clutch situation, just because it's super unexpected, this is my personal favorite. Now I'll throw the bomb right here, but I'm going to give you two different lineup locations for the exact same spot in order to be able to get either in this corner or in the front. If you plant up front, it actually gives you a little bit more leeway as far as like, hey, they could be in connector, they could be heaven, they could be backside, they could be long. Gives you a lot more flexibility. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make your way back over here, and then you're going to wedge yourself into this corner by the box. Now again, this is very situational. Front of the box goes here, and default goes here. And this is for your molly location. So I'll show you the first one. What you're going to do is tip the flame going into the window, and all that is going to do is it is going to bounce in between here and bounce right on top. The other one, like I had mentioned earlier, is actually going to be more for default, and you're just going to go right on the other side of that pane. And you're just going to line up the tip of your molly, same thing, but other side. And it just bounces a little nicer to where you can get more of the default bomb location. So it makes them think that you're going long. The nice thing is that once you're done firing that molly, and because you have that lineup that actually bounces off the roof, it's going to be able to give you that. So you'll be able to play here. And since this box is spammable, you can spam your way to victory. The last molly that I want to be able to show you for this location is very specific as far as like planning out into the front of the box. And this one, again, kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility on which way you want to go. If you can make your way through connector, all you're going to do is you're going to line yourself up into this corner. And guys, this one's really easy. All you have to do is crouch and then just line up your crosshair right where these two angles meet and fire. And it's going to do a double bounce and land right here. So guys, I hope you enjoyed mastering the molly. Again, it's your boy Seductive Rhino, back at it, bringing you the heat, helping you guys climb the competitive ladder all the way to iron, bronze, cardboard 4. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I just want to let you guys know that we are almost on our way to 200 subscribers, and I know that that's relatively small for a lot of the other channels, but to me, this is more of a passion project, so I appreciate every single one of you guys' support. So if you could, again, please make sure that you drop a like, hit that sub button for your boy, and other than that, I will see you later.